Welcome back to the channel. So I've got my metal detector with me on my bike and we're off to do a bit of history hunting, and you'll be surprised at what I find today. So this is East Fortune. I'm just going past, and on our left, coming back on us, is the entrance into the race circuit, and there on the left at 90 degrees is my old house, which I sold a few years ago now. On our left through these trees is the buildings of the former East Fortune Hospital, which originally had accommodation buildings for ground crews for the airships that were based at East Fortune. So let's go on a time travel back to World War II. And in World War II, RAF East Fortune was a very busy place. So up on our left here, you'll see across to the present East Fortune, Scotland's National Museum of Flight. If I slow the film up, you will see the Vulcan bomber sitting there. This is one of the Vulcans that took part in the Falklands War bombing of Stanley Airport, and it was actually the last plane to land on East Fortune runway. So back to our bit of time travel, back to World War II, and the future of this base changed. In 1942, the East Fortune airfield was transformed to RAF number 17 Coastal Command, and it became an operational training unit. And mostly the crew were Australians and New Zealanders. As the war went on, more and more young boys, they were boys, not men really, young boys from the Commonwealth came to help us fight the war in the UK. Here's a great photo of them here. And you'll see them loading up a bullfighter here with a Sparrow 20mm cannon shells. Look at the length of that magazine. So these planes would go on to have 4 of these guns. Some of them have 10 guns as a cannon setup, but a formidable plane anyway. And these young guys would go on to take the war to Norway, to the Axis ships, and it was quite a dangerous job. It was on average that a crew on every 25 crews were actually killed in training, never mind going on these dangerous missions. So hats off to these boys. So a few years ago, I happened across, after being told by an old boy I knew, I used to work with, that there was actually a live fire range onto the coast, as there were several on East Lothian's coast. Most of the coast was closed to people in the war, and especially away from villages and towns. A lot of areas were left for live fire training, be it ground troops or with aircrafts as well. And I just happened to find an actual firing line for a target on the coast that was used by the bullfighters from East Fortune. And when I went in there, I quickly worked out no one's been here before, because the amount of cartridges I got was unbelievable. So we're off now to Site X. Don't ask me where this place is, I'm not going to tell you, because there's still a few wee treasures in there to pick up yet, but I'm going to get ready and go do some metal detecting. after not even a minute, the first one. Spano 20mm cannon shell. So yeah, when I first came in here, there was nothing in this woodland. It was overgrown, really tight roof, and nothing growing in the undergrowth. And it was brilliant for metal detecting. Then they thinned it all, and they left all the brash, which made it useless. And now, sadly, a lot of new seeds are coming up, which the metal detector hits. But that first year that I came in here, and that one long weekend, more than that in a bit, and how many I actually found, it was unbelievable. You couldn't walk 6 foot without getting one of these. And my back was sore bending down to pick these things up. That's how many there was. It was unbelievable. But yeah, this has been a brilliant place. And there's still loads more here. So the reason I'm down here today, partly to show you some of this, is I'm just collecting some of these up to take down to Army Navy surplus store in Coldstream. We visited last week for the first time, and I promised I'd drop some in, and they'll be for free in exchange for a discount on a Blackberry, as I want a Blackberry to put my dad's tank badge on. So yeah, I'll be taking these down next week, and I'll probably do a wee video on the shop as well, because it's an amazing little shop. It's got a great museum as well downstairs, so more on that soon. And always recheck if you've found something, because there's often more than one, especially with ammunition. So you can remove certain metals and select certain metals, so you could just select scan a cartridge shell and you'd only detect them. However, you don't know what else you might find. And look at this.
Aha. Tow bar hitch for a tractor, or trailer hitch rather. Pin. Haha. Wonder who lost that.
Pretty amazing the condition of these cartridge shells, preserved in the sand, these sandy soil, you know, for like over 80 years now. Just been lying here since the day they were fired at that range.
One more and we'll head home. Then getting on.
Haha, one more. Well, I plan on just getting 5 and then finding another 3, so we got 8 in the end of these.
Beautiful sand, isn't it? You see how they're preserved. Here it is. Number 4, is it? Number 5? Can't remember how many I picked it. Gets addictive, doesn't it? Lost in the sands. Perfectly preserved. Look at the rest. Really good end on that, it's worth keeping that one. There you go, number 6. So the most I got of these was in one day, you ready for this? 240 of them. Yeah. That's when I realised no one has detected in this wood ever since World War II, since these were fired in, I believe, 1942 and 43 by the air crews training at East Fortune. Fantastic. Still loads more in here. Right, off back to the bike.
Yeah, thankfully I had my car that day to get all that lot back home. We story about all them on eBay. We'll get that another story though sometime. So sometimes, like just here, with the roots, you've got to kind of work it a bit to get the ground to open up. Oh, and make sure your Doc Martin Steelies aren't making you dig holes for nothing. Yeah, persevere and you shall get rewarded though. So that's been about half an hour editing, 12 minutes or something of digging around in here. So anyway, I'm off. I've got more than I want just now. Probably get back to the bike and get heading home. Well, I'm heading home, but I'm heading towards the bike, and you can't really stop doing this. It gets a bit addictive. I can see where the whole gold fever thing comes from, even if it is just World War II brass shell cartridges.
Oh, That was it.
Yep, not just
Well.
cartridge shells to find, and
An old
tractor,
hammerhead.
trailer, pins.
How would that be?
There you go, an old hammer. That'll be post-war because there was a pheasant pen in here. I found a lot of mesh wire which
Onwards.
ended up to detecting a bit. So anyway, I'm back to the bike, all packed away, and I'm heading home. So, hope you found that little bit local doorstep history interesting. So it's quite amazing, that they've lying there undetected by anyone. Everybody's obsessed with metal detecting in fields. The problem with fields is they get ploughed every year. They have them for years, and they get fertilizer put on them, chemicals, spray, stuff like that breaks down stuff. But if you can find somewhere where no one's been, maybe there's been trees planted, but that's it. Yeah, surprising what you can find, isn't it? So there you go. So let's head home. Interestingly, this little house here, when we were kids, used to have an observatory in the garden. It's not now. And it was also, the chap that lived in it was once a Lancaster technician. Worked on the old Lancs. So there you go. Another wee fact for you. So I'm heading home, and we'll have a wee look at what we got. So back at HQ, and it was 8 altogether that I got. A couple have been chipped. Probably I've just hit them with the spades, or they're just broken, they've been dug out of the ground. I've been in there 80 years after all. You notice some of the ends are slightly dented. It seems to be the way that they're ejected out of the guns. So if you want to clean these up, Barkeeper's Friend's one of the best things that we've found. And as you can see, you can make a lovely display in your living room. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you thought if you want to see more stuff like this. I've got another couple of secret sites to go to. Yeah, leave a comment, subscribe if you want. Don't ask me where this wood is though, but you might be able to work it out if you're local. Alright, thanks again, see you again soon, bye for now.